Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another, a first ever MONG reaction, where we at Middle of Nowhere Gaming react to gaming stuff. It's kind of in the title, but in case you didn't guess, whoops, that's a thing. So today we are going to be reacting to the Hyrule Warriors 3DS E3 leak, and to react with me this time, I have got Aaron Dobby himself. Do you want to say hi?
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And if you haven't guessed yet by the British accent, I am Lucy Pound. You're a British person. Okay, so let's start. So first off, Aaron, would you like to explain how this happened?
Alright, well, it seems that whoever is in charge of managing Koei Tecmo's Facebook page made a small error in which they uploaded a video that was apparently meant to be released after E3, but they appeared to have made it unlisted instead of private, which means that while you couldn't search for this video and it wouldn't appear on their channel, if you knew the URL to the video, you could still find it. And someone on NeoGAF found it, and now we've all seen the news that Koei Tecmo is developing a Hyrule Warriors game, apparently a port for 3DS.
Yeah, I can imagine that person probably does not work at Koei Tecmo anymore.
At least you got a stern talking to, right?
I'm sure I can just imagine Reggie on the phone, like yelling at him, like, "You messed up our E3 conference!"
Oh no, that wouldn't happen because, as we all know, Reggie can't speak Japanese.
Can't do. Oh, I guess our Nintendo head is like Japanese, so we didn't take that risk really. But you know. So there are quite a few changes in, well, not quite. There are a few changes in the 3DS version. And first off, just spoiler warning for Wind Waker. If you have not finished it, skip like ahead like 30 seconds. Or a minute, just to be safe.
Right.
But there are the two new characters which have been confirmed are Tetra and the King of Red Lions / the King of Hyrule, because they're kind of the same people.
Yep. Looks like Tetra attacks with various pirate-themed weaponry, and the King of Red Lions turns into a boat in the middle of battle and stomps on people.
I have to admit the boat one is pretty cool.
Yeah, I was actually pretty happy to see that. That was just goofy and fun.
I was kind of wondering why they weren't like in the Hyrule Warriors DLC, because for those who haven't played Hyrule Warriors, it has features in 3 of the console games, which is Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. So they have characters from those 3 games. And then they have Majora's Mask DLC, but they never had Wind Waker DLC, so now they can say they've covered all of them, which I think is good.
And it's kind of weird though, because the 2 Wind Waker characters kind of look out of place. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Yeah, it's
but Tetra especially.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's in this whole, like everyone's in like a cohesive art style, and like. So they've all been slightly tweaked a bit for it. And then you have Tetra and the King of Red Lions, which they can't really like make into that art style. But the game on 3DS will be cel shaded though, so they might look more on place there. Like Wii U, I could see it as a bit jarring, but 3DS might be better. I don't know. What do you think of cel shaded?
It's sort of the same thing as Super Smash Bros., right? Where it's all nicely detailed on the Wii U, but the 3DS being a smaller screen, you need more of a simple art style so that you can see the characters and figure out what's going on, and you've got the thick outline around the characters just like Smash Bros. I think it makes total sense.
Yeah, I think because you don't want a game chugging along at 15 frames per second.
Yeah, that too, yeah. That wouldn't be very fun.
No, they've also put less enemies on the map to probably help with that, and the backgrounds, let's be honest here, do not look that visually appealing. if you saw
I
Hyrule
mean-
Warriors, like the Hyrule Castle in the trailer, it's literally like a grey slab with like a bit of more of like a grey slab going off from the side. It's like,
And it's like that's a little jarring too, because the environments in Hyrule Warriors looked really nice on the Wii U. It was sort of like seen for the first time the Zelda game in true HD. So
apart
that was
from that,
that was a big part of the appeal. So it's interesting to see that element kind of gone for this release, because it definitely is not quite as striking here.
But on the plus side, you will now be able to swap characters on the map by the looks of things. So by using the like bottom touchscreen, you have a map of the area and you have the characters that you're fighting with. And at any point, you seem to be able to click on a character and you will become them. Which, you know, I think it would help quite a lot, because if I remember correctly, there were some moments where especially if you were going for collectibles, there were very short spaces of time where you had to get to certain places to do certain stuff. And I think character swapping would probably help quite a lot with that.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that if our assumptions are true and this is a port, I don't really like this change. This is coming from someone who has played the Wii U version for I think 158 and a half hours. A big part of the challenge, especially in the later stages and in the DLC especially, is that you have to sort of be everywhere at once with one character, because the fighting is not where the challenge comes from. The enemies, at least the small ones, just kind of dance around you and don't do anything. And the bigger enemies, well, you fight them once and then you know how to beat them, and then it's just a matter of taking the time to do it. It's sort of a game of running around and putting out fires all over the map, and I think just adding the ability to switch characters around the map whenever you want will really dull that edge. I'm not saying that they can't balance or tweak the game otherwise to adjust for that, but taken on its own, I'm not entirely sure this is a good thing for the game. But
No, I think
just
that's,
me.
yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think that, well, I don't see that many people picking up Hyrule Warriors on 3DS that didn't play it on Wii U, honestly, or unless they didn't own a Wii U. But hopefully it will do something, because I think there was a lot of reviewers' complaint with the game. Okay, also one more thing before we move on from changes is there is going to be no amiibo functionality in this game if the box art is to be believed, which for this video we are going to assume that is right. Which means all those rare... All amiibo work with Hyrule Warriors, don't they? You just have some
I
which
believe
get.
all the Smash Brothers amiibo do. If you use Link, you unlock a special weapon, the spinner.
Yeah,
And then besides that, if you use any of the Zelda characters, you will get weapons that you could have got otherwise, but specialized for that character.
I think Toon Link works the same as Link, but yeah.
That's right, yeah. For this change, I mean, it's whatever. Besides the spinner, it's a very extraneous piece of functionality. They could just unlock the spinner in the game.
I don't imagine
like any other weapon.
Like, carrying around their 3DS and then bringing in like a bag of amiibo, because
yeah, to use it every time.
Like, one, that would be so like frustrating and huge and annoying, but two, like, who has that many amiibo? I mean, they're impossible to buy, so...
I counted the amiibo I have, and I have 39 right now.
I have 5. One of which is Gold Mario, and another is Shulk, and another is Little Mac, so I picked my battles wisely.
Yeah, I mean, none of those are exactly commons either.
No, and one of them didn't come out in the UK, so that was a struggle, not gonna lie. Okay, back on topic. So, on the old topic of the box art,
right?
The box art said Nintendo 3DS, which means this is not a new 3DS exclusive, as a lot of people, including me, first thought it would be. And so, do you think it should be a new 3DS exclusive or not?
Um, this is just one of many things that makes me wonder if this is actually going to be a straight port after all. I think the reason why everyone is assuming that it is because they showed a bunch of cutscenes and they were the cutscenes from the first game. I don't even think this was like supposed to be representative of how they would look on the 3DS. They just played the Wii U version's cutscenes in the middle of the video. But as it is, I see no way that the regular plain vanilla 3DS is going to run anything close to Hyrule Warriors just because of the enemy count.
Yeah, they have reduced it, but
Yeah.
there's still quite a few.
And like even then, it's like you reduce the enemy count in the area, and then all of a sudden it's really hard to plan around your area because, like, I don't know, how do you fix that? Do you just have a crazy high amount of pop-in and have enemies appear 2 feet from your face? Or what?
No, my thing is, did you play Xenoblade Chronicles 3D?
I did not.
Okay. For those who haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles 3D because they don't have a new 3DS or they don't have a spare 200 hours of their life, basically that game is ugly. Like, that game is a Wii game, and it was a Wii game which pushed the Wii to its limits, but it's still, on the new 3DS, it is still, like, really, it's ugly. It's one of the ugliest 3DS games. It's really nice. It's like a fun game to play. And like, they do manage to keep most of the size of the world and the areas, but it's still really ugly. And like, I look at Hyrule Warriors, and I look at how much better it looks with the cell shaded art style, and then I see sort of like the areas which are going to be on the 3DS with those enemies, and I don't think it's going to happen. Like, I also, if you look back on the trailer, you'll notice that for some reason, all of the enemies are fought very close to a background,
Right.
like the castle or a cliff. There's no open sort of like shots of like the whole like Hyrule feel like battle area like you will see in the game, and that kind of worries me.
So, that said, I looked at the maps on the bottom screen, and those were the full-size maps of levels that I recognized from the Wii U version. So it wasn't like they were playing on a smaller map. Of course, this might just be a mock-up.
Yeah.
And they just pasted a map on there. I'd also like to point out that this is not just the box art we're going off of. All the fine print in Japanese in the whole video just said Nintendo 3DS and not new Nintendo 3DS. So there's no indication that this is going to be exclusive to new 3DS. That said, there's no reason why they can't have new 3DS exclusive features, and
Yeah, like Codenames theme.
right. But that's still really weird that depending on the console you play it on, you'll just have 20 enemies clustered around you, or you can see them all. That's a huge implication for gameplay.
No, yep. I see it and I'm just there thinking like, ugh. Like, why? Like, is anybody gonna buy Hyrule Warriors, which isn't a hardcore Nintendo fan? I don't see your average 5-year-old walking into a shop and just picking up Hyrule Warriors from the shelf, because it seems to be quite a hardcore gamer's game, and the new 3DS is the hardcore gamer's 3DS, so I don't see why they're not together.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I agree with you that most of the audience for this game would already have a new 3DS or be planning on getting one. Maybe even this game might be what pushes them over the edge, especially if they didn't have a Wii U to begin with.
Yeah. I'm just so scared it's going to end up as Borderlands 2 on PlayStation Vita, which is notoriously bad, and it was a mistake, and I'm so scared it's going to become that. Oh well. So, moving on. Onto a slight rumour. If you look, not quite the end slate, but the scene where you see all the characters, and you have Link with this huge scar, and then you have like Tetra, and you've got the King of Red Lions, and you have like some of the other DLC characters there. There's a mysterious crossbow, which the owner is mysteriously covered by this huge scar. And a lot of people got quite excited because, for those who didn't know, like I didn't until a few days ago, there was going to be a female Link in the original Hyrule Warriors on Wii U. It was going to be like it was going to be like a little sister sort of thing, but I don't think it was
like a little sister type character. Yeah.
I don't think it was actually going to be Link's sister, but she was like clad in green with the exact same crossbow as is seen in the end slate, and so everyone's like, is Linkle, which is her name, which is so cute, by the way.
Yeah.
Is Linkle going to be in Hyrule Warriors 3DS? I kind of want her to be.
I agree. Like, this could go two ways. Either, yes, Linkle's in the game, or just her crossbow is, because, I mean, it's a pretty nice looking crossbow, right? But yeah, playing the original Hyrule Warriors, I was missing a character, sort of like Saria from Ocarina of Time. Like, I felt, if not her, then someone else, and I get that same sort of vibe from Linkle based on the concept art I've seen and her description in the art book. So I think it would be a very welcome change, in my opinion, to add that character in. I mean, it's like you might get mad about it because it's not canon or whatever, but I'm pretty sure that Hyrule Warriors lets you play as a gigantic cuckoo, so...
Yeah. No, because I remember, before Hyrule Warriors came out, I was like making my like top 5 list of anticipated characters, and like Saria, and like there was like Princess Ruto who's in there, there was the Goron guy who's in there, and
Darunia.
Darunia. Wait, I always forget his name. And I also put in Saria, because I was like, you know what? Saria is obviously going to be in there. Why would they not put in Saria? I mean, she's cute, she's small, she's clad in green, and then it makes more sense now, because I was so confused. Wait, why have they put in Agatha? Why not Saria? Like, my confused face, but now Linkle, I think, would definitely be the ideal replacement. So, finally, with all the information that we know about Hyrule Warriors 3DS, which is not the legitimate title, just throwing it out there, this is just what we're calling it, because it has some Japanese title.
That's right. It's the Japanese title is Zelda Musou Hyrule All Stars. The original Hyrule Warriors game was just called Zelda Musou, so this actually has a new subtitle that the original did not.
So, who knows? Do you think you will be picking this up? Like, are you definitely going to? Are you like, or are you like, nope, I don't want it. Just send it back.
I am very much on the fence. As I mentioned before, I have already put 158.5 hours into this game on the Wii U. So, that said, if the general consensus is true and this is a port, I will pick it up if and only if it has some sort of cross-save with the Wii U version. Like, that would be a big win for me. I would love to be able to just take my progress on the Wii U version on the go, play it on the train, come back and knock out a few more missions on my big screen. I will also pick this up if it ends up being a new game that's not a port at all. But I think if it's just a port and there is no such cross-save functionality, I don't see myself picking it up.
To me, it seems a bit like I hope it's not a port, because at the moment I see it as a bit of a glorified DLC pack on the 3DS.
Yeah.
Like, it has the Wind Waker DLC, which was missing at the beginning.
Yeah, and the last slide of the video says that you can connect your 3DS copy of the game to your Wii U copy of the game to get Hyrule Warriors, or to get Tetra and the King on Hyrule Warriors for Wii U. That doesn't necessarily say that they won't sell those two characters separately somewhere down the line.
Yeah, like how you had Mewtwo if you bought Smash Brothers on
Right.
the 3DS and the Wii U.
That's right. But I mean, that's an incentive, but I'm not sure that I would get. I'm not sure I would get a lot of use out of the characters, because even the DLC characters outside of the villains that were patched in for free, I don't play as any of them a whole lot, despite the fact that I like the characters, because there are no objectives in the adventure mode that require using them.
Oh.
So I never end up leveling them up, so they're always too weak for me to use, so I don't use them.
A bit of a downward spiral. Now, I have not played the Wii U version. I played like the first level, so
Okay.
I know what's going on. But I was like, oh, this is cool, maybe pick it up, and it just never happened. I bought other games, and so if this was on new 3DS, oh, sorry about that. If this was on new 3DS, I probably would have thought more about picking it up, because I would have been like, you know what, this can't be that bad. Like, it's on new 3DS, we're all good. It's on the normal 3DS. I can just see it with a huge case of like fogitis, like
Right.
that like Lego City Undercover game, which is fog, like all around. You can just see fog, like a bit of a tree in the background. But like they need to show more stuff. They need to say, hey, it's fine. You're not always going to be facing a wall. It will, you know what? There's not fog. It runs at a smooth 30 frames per second, and it's not but ugly. And then maybe I might pick it up.
I think a demo would go a long way towards convincing people like you.
Yeah, I think so as well. Anyway, so thank you very much for tuning in, and thank you, Aaron, for like coming along and talking about Hyrule Warriors. So
Yeah, no problem.
yeah, so Middle of Nowhere Gaming is a huge network. We're not called MONG Network on Twitter, not on Facebook, not on YouTube anymore. Oh yeah, can't make that joke. Oh well.
Yeah.
Okay, so subscribe to Middle of Nowhere Gaming on YouTube. We're on Twitter, mong.com, all spelled out, because Middle of Nowhere Gaming was probably taken.
Or too long.
Yeah. Facebook, we're just Middle of Nowhere Gaming, nice and simple. And also check out our website. It's pretty cool. Like, it's fun. And we had like the Mong Man. It's awesome. So, Aaron, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Well, I don't have a Twitter, so good luck with that.
Oh, great. Just get Twitter. Just like,
Yeah, I should.
I'm like this close to creating a Twitter for you and just naming it Aaron. Like the Kevin kind of funny Twitter. Oh,
Oh man, and then you'll start posting for me.
like, new amiibos. No, so,
I am not famous enough for someone to create a parody Twitter of me yet.
what a shame. If you want to find me on Twitter, you can find me at BlueFox2000. O is in the letter, not the number, because I am a confusing human being. Thank you so much for listening, and Mong!
Mong!
Mong.